Hello guys, in this experiment we are going to perform configuration of routers. We will also be seeing simulation of how a packet is sent from one location to other location and its inbound and outbound details. So let's go to Cisco packet tracer. Okay, this is Cisco, here I have created a network. This is location A. At this location we have switch which connects 3 PCs. This switch is connected to a router. At this location we have a switch which is connected to 3 PCs and similarly it is connected to a router. These two routers are connected with each other via serial TCE cable. Now to connect two routers there are two types of cable. One is serial TCE and one is serial DTE. We are using serial TCE cable because it transfers packet at clock rate, at clock frequency. To enable serial connection between the routers, we have to add this interface. We click on the router, we go to physical, we have to switch off the router, we have to drag HWIC2T on the router and again we switch on the router. I have already done it, so I won't be doing it again. Similarly, we have to do this for this router as well. Go to physical, switch off the router, drag and drop this interface and switch on. This interface allows serial connection between the two routers. So to connect this, we go to this connections and use this serial TCE connection and connect these two routers. Hence we have successfully, our connections are successfully completed, and our next step is to configure the switch and the router. Now configuration of switch is similar to what we did in previous experiment, so I won't be doing it again. What we will be doing is configuration of routers. As I have already performed configuration of routers, I will be just writing the commands but I won't be executing it. So first command is enable. This will enable the routers. I have already set it. Next command is enable secret CISCO. This will enable a password. This will require the user to this will ask the user for a password before entering the enable mode, as it did here. Next is line console 0. This will enable the password. This will enable the password, and then we provide password, which I have set it to CISCO. Next step is login, which will log in into that mode, and exit will come out of this mode. Next step is line VTY 0. Now line VTY is a virtual teletype. VTY stands for virtual teletype. It is a virtual port and is used to get telnet or SSH access to the device. It is used for inbound connections to the device. So 04 means that devices can allow 5 simultaneous virtual connections at a time. So we line VTY 04 and we write login local and we write transport input telnet, which will enable telnet access via the router, and we provide username. I have provided the username as Bonal, password CISCO. If anyone gets access of this file and uses the show running command, he can see the password CISCO in clear text. To prevent this, we write service password encryption. This will encrypt the password CISCO. This is done. Our next step is to configure the IP addresses. So we consider this part of the router, which is gigabit Ethernet 3.0/0. So interface gigabit Ethernet 0/0. Press enter. Next thing is we assign IP address. IP address of this part is 10.0.0.1, which is also the default gateway for the switch and this PCs. So we assign IP address as 10.0.0.1 and subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. This the router is already configured, so I won't be executing the commands again. Next is interface. Then we write no shutdown. No shutdown is to switch on this line, make this line up and working. Next is we consider interface serial 0/3/0, which is the serial connection between the two routers. Here we provide the IP address, which is 30.1.1.1. 0.0.1. and subnet mask of 255.255.255.0. Next, if we write no shutdown means it will again keep this line up. Next task is to write the IP route command. Now IP route means the packet will be taken from this part of the network and it will go to the other part of the network. So here we write IP route 10.0.0.10 space 255.255.255.255, which is the subnet.0 subnet mask, and 30.0.0.2, which means it will take the packet from this side and forward it to this one. That's it. We have configured router 1 successfully. Same thing we do for router 2, except that we provide different IP addresses for this port and this port, and we provide different IP route because this router will transmit packet from this part of the network to this part. So we have successfully configured the router, and now it is time to test whether our PCs are connected or not. So we'll ping this PC from this PC. So we go to this PC, we go to desktop, we can see the IP addresses are statically assigned to this PC. We go to command prompt and we ping this PC. So we write ping 20.0.0.2. We press enter. We can see that we are getting reply. Because I have already pinged it before, it is not losing any packets, but when you ping it for the first time, the first packet will be stored by the switch for identity purpose. That is to identify the host which is a part of its network. Now let's check whether our telnet is working or not. So what is the use of telnet is that a person sitting at this PC can remotely access and configure this switch. So we'll try to use telnet from this PC to this switch, which is 20.0.0.10. So telnet 20.0.0.10. It is asking for username, which was set to Moodle, password, which was set to CISCO. Now we can configure the switch. You can see now we can see that we have the access to this switch from a remote location. So this is how telnet is used to access and configure various properties of the switch by a person sitting in remote location. Now let us see the simulation. We go to simulation, we set reset simulation and we play. So here a packet is being transferred from this PC to this switch. We can check the details of that switch. You can see the inbound video detail. The source address is 10.0.0.2. Destination address is 20.0.0.4, which is to this PC. Also at this switch we can see inbound details will be the same. Once the packet reaches this PC, it will send a reply back to this switch. Now if we check, the inbound details will be different. The source address is 20.0.0.4, the destination address is 10.0.0.2. Hence we can see that when the packet is being transferred from this PC to this PC, the switches will have inbound address, source address is this, destination address is this. But when this packet is transferred from here to reply is being sent from here to here, every switch on the network will have source address as 20.0.0.4 and destination address as 10.0.0.2. Hence, we have successfully configured routers, verified our telnet is working properly to access, remotely configure and access a switch, and our packets simulation is working properly with correct inbound and outbound addresses. Thank you.